Hello viewers, many thanks for joining us. Nigeria's fight against insurgency has entered another critical phase following reports that the military carried out a precision airstrike targeting suspected Islamic State West Africa province, otherwise known as ISWAP, fighters in Borno State. The operation reportedly eliminated about 15 suspected insurgents and disrupted militant activities in one of the country's long-standing conflict zones. While military officials continue to intensify operations against terrorist groups in the northeast, the latest strike is being viewed as another attempt to weaken the operational capacity of insurgents who have continued to launch attacks on both security forces and civilian communities. The big question is this: can sustained intelligence-led air operations significantly reduce the operational strength of ISWAP, or will the group continue to adapt despite repeated military offensives? Over the years, the Nigerian military has increasingly relied on intelligence gathering, surveillance technology, and precision airstrikes to target insurgent camps and movements. While these operations have recorded notable successes, terrorist groups have also demonstrated their ability to regroup, relocate, and continue attacks in parts of the northeast. The latest operation therefore raises fresh questions about the long-term impact of military pressure on insurgent activities. According to security analysts and counterinsurgency experts Zagazula Makama, the operation followed incredible intelligence received by security agencies regarding the movement and location of suspected ISWAP fighters around Kala Bala in Mate local government area of Borno State. Reports indicate that the military first deployed an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance or ISR platform to verify the information before taking action. During the surveillance mission, operators reportedly identified 3 vehicles concealed beneath separate trees along with several makeshift structures believed to be used by the suspected insurgents. Further surveillance reportedly detected 5 suspected fighters gathered beneath a tree near the temporary structures. Following what military sources describe as positive target identification, a precision airstrike was launched against the location. The strike reportedly eliminated the 5 identified individuals before triggering secondary explosions, suggesting that explosives or ammunition may have been present at the site. Based on post-strike assessments, military sources estimated that about 15 suspected ISWAP fighters were killed during the operation. Reports further indicate that after the initial strike, the surveillance platform conducted a battle damage assessment to determine the effectiveness of the operation. While the strike reportedly inflicted heavy casualties on the suspected insurgents, the assessment found that the 3 concealed vehicles had survived the attack. Military operators subsequently attempted a second precision strike aimed at destroying the vehicles. However, that effort reportedly failed after a malfunction in the aircraft laser targeting system prevented accurate engagement of the remaining targets. Despite the technical setback, military sources reportedly described the operation as a significant operational success. According to the reports, the strike dealt a substantial blow to the manpower of the terrorist group and disrupted its activities within the Mate axis. Intelligence-led operations such as this are designed not only to eliminate suspected fighters, but also to reduce the mobility, logistics, and operational planning capabilities of insurgent groups operating across the Northeast. The reported destruction caused by the strike is therefore seen as part of the military's broader counter-insurgency strategy. The Mater local government area has remained one of the strategic locations in Borno State due to its proximity to areas where insurgent groups have historically maintained a presence. Over the years, both ISWAP and other terrorist factions have exploited difficult terrain, remote settlements, and broader routes to establish hideouts and launch attacks. This has made the area a frequent focus of military operations involving both ground troops and air assets. Intelligence gathering has increasingly become central to these missions, allowing security forces to identify suspected targets before launching precision attacks. At the same time, it is important to note that the casualty figures and operational details contained in the report have not been independently verified. Information released during ongoing military operations often reflects preliminary battlefield assessments, which may later be reversed as additional intelligence becomes available. Battle damage assessments typically continue after an operation to establish the full extent of casualties, destroyed equipment, and any remaining threats in the area. Independent verification in active conflict zones can also be difficult because of limited access and continuing security risk. Military sources reportedly stated that aerial surveillance of the location remains ongoing following the operation. Continued monitoring is intended to determine whether any suspected insurgents survived the strike and whether additional operations may be required to neutralize remaining threats or destroy the surviving vehicles. Such follow-up surveillance also helps security agencies assess whether insurgent groups attempt to cover equipment, evacuate casualties, or relocate to nearby areas after an airstrike. The reported operation reflects the Nigeria's military's continuing emphasis on intelligence-driven counter-terrorism operations against ISWAP and other armed groups operating in the Northeast. Whether this latest strike will significantly weaken insurgent activities in the Mater area remains to be seen. What is clear is that the fight against terrorism continues to rely on a combination of intelligence gathering, surveillance technology, precision operations, and sustained security presence. As authorities continue monitoring the situation, many Nigerians will be watching closely to further updates on the operation and its impact on the broader campaign against insurgency. For more updates, stay with us on News Express.